Good morning, guys. How are you guys? All good. So today we'll just have our orientation session. We'll not start a new topic today. We'll just have a look at history of CSAT in CSE. Then you can tell me about what you find particularly difficult or what you expect from this course. And then we'll just have a look at 2023 paper, which saw multiple agitations against it, which saw multiple court cases against it. And we'll just try to see that was it so difficult? Was it undoable? Or was there something else? Okay. So firstly, CSAT in CSE, as you know, before 2011, there was no CSAT. Even prelims, we had two optionals. We had to choose two optionals for prelims as well as mains. But in 2013, the pattern changed. And many expert committees recommended that aptitude has become very important for a modern day civil servant. And even we study that in our ethics as well. There is a popular question that aptitude is more important than attitude, etc. So that was felt there, and that is why CSAT was brought in. From 2013, it was a scoring subject. So marks of CSAT were counted for qualification in prelims. They were not counted in the final list, but in prelims it was counted. So it was felt that technical background students, science students, mathematics students are having distinct advantage over others when it comes to CSAT, and they are overwhelmingly getting through prelims. Because if you score out of 200, 180 in one paper, you don't need other paper that much. That was the thing. So they were not even studying GS paper 1, and others were having disadvantage. That was very clear. So again, after a lot of agitations, in 2015, it was made qualifying. Till that, it was not qualifying, it was marked. But from 2015, they are having this qualifying paper. But post 2019, we see that trend is once again changing. Okay. So what is that change, and why did it change? Perhaps this is guesswork again. But from 2015 to 19, if you look at PYQs, they were very easy questions. I mean, if you look at that, and if you just blindly go to the examination hall, you'll be able to clear very easily. They were that easy questions. But again, the side effect of that is that students were ignoring it. So intended purpose of the paper was defeated. Student was going with the attitude that even I just want to score 66 marks, so I didn't need to study. It is a qualifying paper. Its marks are not getting added. So why do I study? That was the attitude. So post 2019, UPSC has made it tougher. So CSAT has been becoming challenged for quite some time. And that I'm mentioning. So what is changing? Firstly, comprehension. One section is comprehension. So in comprehensions are becoming more complex. Earlier comprehension, if you just have a cursory look at it, there used to be a bigger passage and 5 questions that followed it. And all the question had answers there. I mean, you just have to read through it and you'll get the answers there automatically. You didn't have to think, or you don't have to do anything. So, but now passages are more complex, language is more complex, passages are shorter, passages are multiple. You have to read multiple passages and not just one passage, and you will be able to solve 2, 3, 4 questions. That is not the story now. Further, questions themselves are more complex. There are different kinds of questions. What are the inferences? What are the assumptions? Then what is the crux of the passage? These kinds of questions are getting asked, and options that are designed, they're also very similar looking. These are the challenges that you face in comprehension part. Then there is LR part, which used to be very standard till last 2 years. So 2022 and 3 are seeing that change. That LR questions are not standardized anymore. Earlier, they used to be very standard. Now they are asking you complicated LR questions, which are having concepts from arithmetic mixed with it. So this year, again, generally a standard question, that what would be the day after 10 raised to 10th day? Do you remember this question? It was this year's question. Question was, if today is Sunday, what would be the day after 10 raised to 10th day, or on 10 raised to 10th day, something like this. So what do we do? How do we find days generally? If I ask you, what would be the day 10 days after today? Today is a Friday. If I ask you what is the day 10 days after, you will count perhaps 10 smaller numbers. But what do we do? in counting to Saturday, Sunday, Monday, you go till Friday. After 7 days, it will be Friday because week is 7 days. And whatever number of days after that, that much we have to go ahead. So in general, we just divide by 7 and go whatever remainder is there, you just go that many days ahead. So all you had to do was divide this number by 7. Now this is not a calendar question. This is the arithmetic question. Just have to perform long division. Yes, it is a long division, quite longer perhaps, but something which is doable in examination because you just have to divide by 7. And long division is something we study in school, right? You just have to keep dividing, find out the remainder, which was 4. And then you just go from Sunday to 4 days ahead. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday was the answer. Okay, that was the question. So that is the problem. So LR also is getting infused with arithmetic questions. That is another change that we are seeing. Then in 2022 and 3, we are from 19 actually, we are seeing distinct focus on basic arithmetic, geometry, mathematization. By mathematization, what do you mean? You are given a word problem, which is perhaps 4 or 5 lines long. And then you are expected to convert that word problem into equations. And then you have to solve those equations. Or if the data, if it is data sufficiency question, you have to comment on whether it is possible to solve the equation. That is what you are expected to do. So these skills are very, very basic skills that we anyway learn in school. And another focus area is permutation combination. Right. It was the permutation and combination against which hue and cry was, that it is not taught till class 10. That was the argument of petitioners. But UPSC's response was, why are you doing it by permutation combination? Are we asking you to? We are asking you to count. Counting one teaches to first class student as well. 1, 2, 3, 4. That is counting. Here you just have to count methodically. That was their argument, that these are not higher degree questions. You just have to manually count. So counting and counting principles. Again, something which we study in our schools. We'll see what kind of questions were there in 2023 paper. And you will realize that it is not as difficult as it is made. Perhaps some questions were lengthy. Actually, some questions were lengthy to be solved in the examination hall. The problem was, if you choose that particular question, you'll waste your 10 to 15 minutes and then you'll face time crunch. That was the issue. So our goal should be, choice of question should be such that we don't get stuck at such question. Firstly, we should gauge if this question is more time consuming or not. How do we gauge? Of course, there are some indicators, but you cannot do it at 100%. So give the question 2-3 minutes. If not, move ahead. Because that is what the exam is about. In examination, it is not competitive examination in the sense that this is just a qualifying paper. And these marks are not getting added. So if you get 150 marks or 90 marks, it doesn't really matter. All you have to do is just qualify. So you have to choose right questions to qualify comfortably. That is our goal. Our goal is not to score 150 or 160 or anything like that. If you score, great, no problem. But that is our goal. And that is where we'll work towards. So identifying which questions to leave is becoming more important. Art of skipping is the new art of attempting. Okay. You have to learn how to skip questions. Because out of 80 questions, you have to attempt around 45 questions. Let us make that as a goal. 45 questions we have to attempt. So we have legroom to leave 35 questions. It is a huge number of questions. In it, out of 80, you can leave 35. That is the statistics. No? So don't worry about too much about paper. We'll just go through this year's paper and you'll see. Now have a look at the syllabus. It is, you can see that it is very indicative. There is nothing concrete about it. All they have written is comprehension, interpersonal skills and communication skills, in logical reasoning and analytical ability. So this I have taken from UPSC's, what you can say, syllabus they give in their notification. From there I have picked this up. And this detail that I have filled myself. So syllabus is very, very indicative. But again, look at basic numeracy. What they have given, numbers their relations, orders and magnitudes till class 10 level. So they are specifying that they don't need you to really go deep, but stick to the basic concepts, but apply them. Learn to apply these concepts. Class 10 level, they have mentioned. There are some topics like these interpersonal skills, including communication skills. They have not asked a question on this in last 13 years. Then there are decision making and problem solving. They have not asked a question on this from 2015. Last question was when CSAT was marking or not qualifying. And in this question, in this section, questions were like they were giving you a situation, and there were 4 responses, A, B, C, D, and you have to choose what would you do in this situation. And this had no negative marking. So if you choose, let us say A, you get 2.5 marks. If you choose B, you get 2 marks. If you choose C, you get 1.5 marks. Something like this was the marking scheme. There was no negative marking there. But again, since ethics paper already has case studies, they have discontinued with this kind of questions. But syllabus, they have not changed. They are just maybe too lazy. But they are not going to ask questions from these chapters. That much we can be very certain of, because they have not asked in last 8 years. Okay. We'll touch upon these topics. It is not that we'll totally skip it. We'll touch upon it, but not beyond the point. We'll give it one lecture to do all these topics together. Because this is again a waste of time, otherwise. Yours as well as mine. And yours is more important than mine. Right? Then let us look at the weightage of topic. Next page. The comprehension has pretty much stabilized around that 25 to 30 figure mark. So 27 is a trend for last 3 years. In last 3 years, we are having 27 questions from comprehension. So next year also we can assume similar number of questions would come. Then LR plus AR is logical reasoning plus analytical reasoning. So again, we are having same number of questions from 10 to 15. Generally 12, 13 questions are getting asked. Then general mental ability. Here we have topics like permutations and combinations. It is getting disproportionate weightage from 22 and 23. You see, earlier there were 9, 8, 5, etc. But suddenly in 22, we had 11. In 23, we had 10 questions. Basic numeracy, again, same importance throughout. We can see more than 20, 25 questions. Some years it gets more than that. So 2020 had 38 questions. In 23, we had 24 questions. But again, here we are not counting questions from other sections which have arithmetic concepts in them. Like LR question also had arithmetic. So this was arithmetic question more than calendar question. But we count them as a calendar question. Because somewhere we have to count. That is the reason. And then DI. DI means here data interpretation. But now, again, they have shifted to data sufficiency. Data interpretation questions are not getting asked. Data sufficiency questions are getting asked. And they are getting asked in large numbers. So last year also there were 6, 7 questions. This year also there were 6 questions from data sufficiency chapter. But here as well, concepts that are used in those questions are from arithmetic. The question type is data sufficiency, but questions are from chapters which we have studied earlier. Mostly arithmetic. Okay. So what should be our goal? Our goal is to attempt this 45 questions with sufficient accuracy and to get 90 plus marks in any given paper. That is our goal. We don't know how next year's paper is going to be. This year, because there was a lot of hue and cry, so people are guessing that next year UPSC might give us a very easy paper. Possible. But can we really depend on that? What if they say that we are UPSC? Who are you to tell us? We'll just give whatever we want. That is also possible. So we'll prepare our level best with keeping in mind that this is a qualifying paper. ऐसा नहीं करना है कि रोज 5-6 घंटे CSAT कर रहे. Please don't do that. It is a waste of time because your main examination is in next September, not even in June. I'm not counting prelim as the main examination because marks are not getting counted in your final selection. Even if you qualify pre, even if you qualify mains, and if you fail at the interview stage, who gives you, what does that mean? Nothing. You just again have to start from the prelims level. Ultimately, you have to figure in that final list. That is our goal. That is why we are here. Your main examination is mains, which is in September. Dates are announced. Have you checked it? I think 20th, no? 20th September. That is where your main examination starts. And all your efforts are to write that. And this is just a hurdle that you have to cross to get opportunity to write that. Look at prelims in general and CSAT in particular from that way. Don't try to focus your entire energies on prelims so much so that you are not mains ready at the end of prelims. So you qualify prelims, but then you are just going to fail mains. It has no value. You have just wasted your time. Nothing. Okay. So towards that, you have to study for main. Most of your time should go for main. And for CSAT, because paper was such that we cannot ignore it, and failing in CSAT waste your entire year, even though you qualify in GS paper 1, we are here. So we are not going to ignore it, but our strategy is not to attempt 80 questions. We have to be able to attempt 45 questions, 45 plus questions. If you attempt more than that, well and good. There is no harm. But that should be our target. Okay. So how do we do that? I mean, what do you think? Kya karna hai? How do you get to that figure? We have seen the distribution. How does it work? I mean, 27 are for comprehension, then 13 are from LR, and let us say rest from basic numeracy. I'm counting anything, data sufficiency, etc. also here, because majority of the questions there are from numeracy only. What are your strengths? I mean, I would like to know from you. What do you think should be the distribution here? How do you attempt? How many of you gave this year's prelims? How was it? How many attempts? Huh? No. How many questions did you attempt? 37. So, which section did you attempt more from? Which section less? Comprehensions you attempted more, and LR and numeracy less. Comprehensions, how many could you attempt? All 27. So here you attempted only 10 questions, right? You have to work more on these parts. You all comprehensions attempted. Okay. Attempted total. And how was the distribution? Achha. So numeracy you left alone. Fine, I'm seeing the pattern here, maybe. Is there somebody who is afraid of comprehension and only attempts numeracy and LR? No. Online students, Lavanya, Lakshay, what was your status? Did you give prelims? आपने दिया था? No. Okay. Okay. So Lakshay is different. He attempted more questions from math section and only 4 or 5 passages. So see, both are problematic. You clearly now know that this cannot work. That you attempt more, I mean, disproportionately more from one section and disproportionately less from another section, because weightage is pretty even. I mean, 27 is a huge number, and so is 13, so is 40. Maybe you can even club 2 of them together and say that this is 63, this is 53, and this is 27. So you have to be rational enough to know that banking on only one section is no longer going to work. Earlier, because this is 53, people used to bank on this a lot. Questions were easier. Questions you get here are straightforward and you get definitive answer. मतलब सही आ रहा है तो सही आ रहा है. Does anyone have a problem with Hindi? If I speak Hindi in between, you don't understand Hindi at all. Little bit, okay, fine. I'll try to speak most of it in English. You point out if you don't understand. So, yes, earlier students used to bank on these sections because we get exact answer here and there is no doubt, and you just sail through and ignore this. But right now, attempting 45 questions from this section is next to impossible. Questions are so lengthy. You have to get help of comprehension section. There is no two ways about it. In fact, I had a student in last batch. She attempted how many questions? 27 in this year's prelim. 27 questions she attempted. She got 26 right, and she was out. This is very risky because she attempted entirely from this maths and LR section. She got 26 right. Excellent. But still one question ranked wrong, and she was thrown out of the list. This is so this is risky. That is what I want to highlight. That don't do this. We have to be able to do both the questions, because see, comprehension, many people are afraid because perhaps you may not have read a lot of English. Perhaps your reading speed is low. Perhaps you have not practiced it. Any of the reasons could be there. See, Lakshay is also he attempted only 29 questions, 29 from maths. 29 questions in total. So that is a risky strategy. Even if you get 2-3 questions wrong, you will be thrown out. Don't do that. Our attempt is 45. That is why we have to get it to sufficiently high level so that nobody can keep us up. And that is also true that from one key you get 70 marks, from another key you get 65, from another key you get 75. So it will just eat up your 15-20 days till the result is announced. And your competitors will go ahead. They will keep studying. You are just wondering. And mains is all about extreme studies and extreme competition. But in mains is the main examination. Everybody knows it. For those 3-4 months, everybody is studying very hard. And further, if you have looked at the statistics, okay. If you look at the statistics, of the total seats in any given year, 30% of the seats will be taken by those who are already selected. That is reality. Then there are people who have given multiple interviews, who have just missed out on 2, 3, 4 marks here and there. They are also your competitors. Ultimately, it is a competitive examination. Seats are very, very limited, right? So we have to fight all of them. You cannot even afford to lose a single day between prelims and mains. That is the main period when you have to study. And if you get some middling marks from, let us say, 60 to 70 marks, you will waste your 15 days very, very surely. Surely you will waste. There is no doubt. Because we are all humans, we'll keep wondering. That paper will keep on rolling back in our mind. I should have done this, I should have done that, I should have attempted this, I should have left it, etc. etc. That is why our aim is 90 plus. So even if 1, 2, 3 questions get cancelled, 2, 3 questions get different, multiple coaching institute do different answer, doesn't matter. We are sufficiently secure. That is why our target is 90 plus. And coming back to this comprehension, out of these 27 comprehension, 22 would be easier in the sense that there would be no doubt in anyone's mind about the answer. 4 or 5 passages every year would be such that different institutes will give different answers. Very possible. But those 4 or 5 questions does not mean that you do not attempt any of these questions. Because students tend to have this fear that passages we can't be sure of any answer. Here we are sure of answer. That is right. But about how many passages there is fight between classes? 4 to 5, not more than that. About 22 passages, everybody is on the same page. So it is very irrational for you to run from the passages just for the sake that they are having multiple answers or vague answers or vague, unsure answers. That is not true for most of the questions. For most of the questions, it is very, very fixed answers. No issue. And those variations also, why do they come? Because UPSC picks up those passages from some larger articles in some newspaper, in some books, etc. etc. And when they give answer, they are giving answer based on entire article, not just that passage. But students, we only know what is given in the passage. That is why that variation comes. And there is variation of interpretation. So that is why differentiation in answer can come, but that is limited to 4 to 5 questions. That is okay. That is why we are attempting 45. 5 go wrong, no worries. Those doesn't matter. Right? Even if 10 go wrong, it is of no concern. That is why our aim is 45. to get number of attempts to such a level that even if 10 questions go wrong, we are safe. Okay. So how should we divide this 45? Of course, you should decide on your own first. Secondly, it depends on the paper, yes. But still, we are trying to have a rough idea, rough strategy in our mind to how to go about it. What do you think? Kya karna hai? How many from comprehensions? How many from numeracy? How many from LR? As per your strength, you can vary this number. My recommendation is you should attempt 15 to 17 from comprehension, because these are very clear that there is a definitive answer. And how do you identify these easier comprehensions? There are few indicators. First, language of comprehension could be easier. Well, you read one, two lines and you'll be knowing that, yeah, this seems easier. Second, questions, type of questions. So some students, they face difficulty in assumption kind of questions. So what are the assumptions? However many times I tell you what is assumption and how do we go about it, you are still not clear. That may happen. So some questions, some type of questions we are inherently uncomfortable with. One of those popular questions is, what are the assumptions made by the author behind this particular passage? So if you are uncomfortable with that question, leave it. We are talking about how to choose this 15, 17 from 27. That could be another. Then if there is a passage and there are 2 to 3 questions on that passage is very small, 100 to 125 words, not more than that. Passage is that length only. But there are 3 questions on it, 2 questions on it. So can any examiner frame 2 to 3 difficult questions on this simple small passage? No. At least 2 questions would be easy out of those 3. You should attempt that. Further, by reading one passage, if you are getting 2-3 questions right, that is worth the investment. That is something that should be chosen. That is how you have to attempt. And one hidden important fact in this comprehension section is your reading speed. I have talked about it earlier. I don't know if you have heard me before, but reading speed has become very, very crucial. Okay. What is reading speed? Speed with which you read, comprehend the whatever given write-up is there. If you can finish your passages, going through your passages in 27 passages in 25 minutes, 30 minutes max, you still have 1.5 hours to tackle another 20-25 questions, which can be easily done. And then with that added time, you can actually choose easier questions from these sections and avoid difficult questions, skipped lengthy questions. That is something you can do only if you have time to dwell on that particular question for 1 to 2 minutes. Okay. So reading speed is very crucial, and that is not just limited to CSAT. That is even applicable at your main stage. Imagine you are giving GS4 paper, ethics paper, and there is 1.5 page case study. You still have 15 minutes only to write it, right? Ideally, ethics case study should be written in 15 minutes. Somebody, let us say me, I finished reading the case study in 2 minutes. I have 13 minutes left to write that case study. And so you spent 7 minutes in reading that case study, 5 to 7 minutes. You only have 8 minutes to write that case study now. Of course, I have distinct advantage now because I have more time to frame my answer, think more, and write more. You have less time to think less, you'll write less, and write less quality answer. And that will get reflected in marks. So reading speed becomes important there as well. Whatever you are reading, maybe you're optional, maybe other GS paper, reading speed would matter everywhere. And that is true even beyond UPSC. Say, if you want to do CAT next year or this year or anytime you want. In CAT, there are sections like comprehension, DI, LR. There also reading speed is crucial. Reading speed will help you in multiple competitive exams. Some other competitive exam where speed is of more concern than solving. CSAT, in CSAT, we have ample time. Like 80 questions, 2 hours is a lot of time. And even here we don't even have to attempt 80 questions. But in some other question, like a banking exam, there are SSC exams where there is speed that matters a lot than difficulty. Speed also deals with reading speed as well as solving speed. If you have higher reading speed, it will help you in multiple ways. If you are giving UPSC, yes, it will directly help you in CSAT. But if outside UPSC as well, it will help you in other examinations, right? So it is important that you cultivate this. ऐसा नहीं है कि रीडिंग स्पीड एक दिन में बढ़ेगा. Reading speed cannot improve in a day or two. You have to be cognizant that I have to improve my reading speed and work towards it. It is important part of your preparation. Look at it from that angle. Don't take it for granted, because if you have low reading speed, you will attempt these 27 passages in 50 minutes. And you only have now 1 hour 10 minutes for rest of the question. And imagine, again, we have 1 hour 10 minutes, 70 minutes you have, and then 40 minutes are passed. And you have just attempted 5 questions. It may happen. So now you are left with half an hour and you are nowhere. Time ka pressure is there. Of course, it is examination. Examination ka pressure is there. Other students who are sitting besides you, they seem to be solving very quickly. Pressure mounts. It happens. And then you just jump from one question to another, then from that, then from that. And you just think to yourself, at least I have to attempt something. Otherwise, I'll definitely fail. To end up attempting unnecessary questions without solving. You just keep guesswork. ये अच्छा लग रहा है इसको करो. B, C, B, C, B, and you'll go to negative mark. Right? So this has a lot of consequences. Neglecting your reading speed. Please don't neglect. Fine. So yes, coming back to our distribution. From comprehension, you attempt 15 to 17. From LR, there are 13 questions, very standardized questions, very, very standard, typically. Of course, in last 2 years, they have mixed some arithmetic in it, but typically very standard questions. Still, you should be able to solve around 8 questions from LR. So how much we have? 25 and 20 questions from numeracy. This is what I recommend. Of course, if your strength is numeracy, you increase this number and decrease somewhere else. If your strength is comprehension, you increase this number, decrease this number. Okay. That is just, I am giving you general instruction. This is not customized to you. We are giving UPSC examination. I cannot spoon feed you everything. This is not customized thing that if you do this only, then you'll pass. You have to look for yourself. You have to know yourself. What are your strengths? What are your weaknesses? Right now, it is time to work on your weaknesses. Yes. But when it comes to framing strategy, you have to work according to your strengths. Right now, when we are studying, learn everything as best as you can, especially arithmetic, geometry, mathematization, these chapters and permutations combination. Please do not skip any classes for this. You may feel boring, fine, that doesn't matter. You may feel that I'm wasting time, that doesn't matter. You may feel that I'm teaching redundant things that you already know. So maybe I'm teaching addition, maybe I'm teaching multiplication that you feel that you already know. Do you know how many questions from addition, subtraction, multiplication, division were there in this year's paper? 13. 13 questions from basic rules of addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, which we study in class 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And once you realize that how simple those questions, those concepts are, all you had to do was apply those concepts. And you failed. I mean, that is why we are here. At least some of you have given prelim. You know that it is not as easy as it seems. That even though when I explain, it will be very easy for you. But I'll not be there in your examination. There, you have to identify the questions. You have to apply the concept right. And you have to get the right answer. All that you have to do on your own. I will not be there to help you. But here, I can be your guide. I can be your mentor to direct your preparation. That is all. So, yes, when it comes to arithmetic, you please don't miss any lecture. We'll start arithmetic from tomorrow. Please don't miss any lectures. Arithmetic, and then we'll go to basic geometry, right? and then we'll go to linear equation and mathematization. Don't mix lecture from that. Even though this year there are not many questions from that chapter. In 2022 paper, there were a lot of questions from that chapter. So you don't know which questions UPSC might focus on next year. And then we'll have one comprehension class where we'll discuss various questions, question types in comprehension. What are the crux areas of comprehension? How do we look for answers? Where is UPSC coming from in comprehension, etc. And thereafter, in every class, at the end, we'll have 2 to 3 comprehensions, and we'll solve that together. Because comprehension is a skill that cannot be learnt in a day or two. एक दिन में बता दूंगा, this is comprehension, this type of question, and now you go solve yourself. Of course, you cannot learn that way. Comprehension is a skill that needs to be cultivated, just like reading speed, right? Both these skills are important that you cultivate. Here, you have more agency than me. Rest of the part I can teach you, but comprehension and reading speed is something you have to work as well. I can guide you. I can tell you how you may proceed. For example, in reading speed, you may have this legit question: how do we read our reading speed? How do we increase our reading speed? It's a legit question. So what you do is, whatever you are reading, let us say you are reading the Hindu. Let us assume you are reading the Hindu and you are reading its editorial every day. So editorial is a standard size. There are 2-3 passages and there is a standard size editorial, pretty much. So what you do, you time yourself reading. On day 1, you just go through it, read it. And by reading, I mean understand. Reading is not just about reading words. Reading with understanding. That is what comprehension is. You have to read and understand. So just go through it, read it, and time yourself. On day 1, you may take whatever, 7 minutes, 8 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, whatever number of minutes. So just keep that as a reference. That is your baseline. You cannot go lower than that. Okay. And for next month, just try and time. Try and time yourself. Just try to read, go through it, understand, and see the time. How much time did you take? Eventually, you will realize that your reading speed is automatically improved. Because timing it has a psychological impact. Okay. Just try it out for a month. If your reading speed does not improve, then we'll think of something else. Just try it out. And as I have underscored, this is important. Don't neglect. It is important in multiple ways, not just in prelims, but in mains as well. Okay. Fine. Now changing pattern. I think I already talked about this. The skills that are needed. Again, basic understanding. Pretty standard things. You can read through it. This is for your reference. So I talked about whatever I wanted. Now I want you to share your thoughts, your expectations from this course, and where do you think you stand with respect to CSAT? Who wants to speak? Any language is fine. Okay. Fine. Of course, we'll start with numeracy. We'll go very, very, very slowly, because in arithmetic chapter, we have around 60 questions from last 5 years. PYQs, if you look at PYQs. So 53 questions are from LR plus numeracy. So out of those 53 into 5 years questions, if you look at it, so around 250 questions, 60 are from this particular topic, arithmetic. So we have disproportionate importance to that topic. So we'll go very slowly in first few lectures. If you want me to go faster, I can go faster, no issues. But initially, I'll try to go very, very slowly, ensuring that every one of you is on board. And if you are having any doubt anywhere, that doubt could be as silly as what is 1 plus 1. It could be as silly as, it does not matter. Please stop me and ask. I can repeat any particular question, any particular concept as many times as you want. I can try in different ways so that you understand better. But ensure that you are learning, because you are here not to impress others. You are sacrificing a lot to sit here and study, to prepare for this examination. Please have realization of that. You know how hard you are working. You know how hard your parents and your families are, how much sacrifice they have made to send you here. So please ensure that you are respecting your efforts as well as theirs. Do not have any uh, shame or anything to ask questions. It is the least shameful thing to ask questions, ask for help. It is very, very honorable thing to do. We cannot be experts in anything, everything, right? We have to be able to humble enough to accept that, yes, sir, I don't know this concept. I'm not able to get you right now. Please explain again. It is nothing wrong in it. Maybe others have understood. What will they say? How does it matter? You are here to learn. You are here to qualify this examination. So please don't have any such thoughts. If you are uncomfortable in class, you can meet me outside. But speaking when you are uncomfortable is also a life skill that you can definitely learn. So even if you think that, yes, this is a silly question and I should not speak perhaps because others will laugh at me, then also speak. It will help you. I was also not a teacher. I was also not a public speaker or anything. But ever since I started teaching, my speaking skills have improved, my confidence has improved, and it is reflected where? In my interview marks. You don't know which skill comes handy where. In 2019 attempt, I got 160 marks. In 2020 attempt, in interview, I got 154 marks. But then I started teaching. In 21 interview, I got 198 marks. Of course, it matters. You don't know which life skill comes handy where. Okay, so don't be afraid to ask questions. Just ask them, and of course, if you want to ask outside, that is also fine. No issue. Yes. Acha. What is your background in general? How many are engineers? Three. Humanities background? Three. Yours? Huh? MBA and graduation? Commerce. Uh, MSc. Okay. Fine. It doesn't. It doesn't really matter because we are talking about class 10 level. Everybody has done 10. Yes. Okay. Uh, in schools. Acha. Okay. We'll start with number line and addition. Don't worry. Next question, we are starting with natural numbers. How do we count? 1, 2, 3, 4. And questions are getting asked. You will be amazed to see what kind of questions are getting asked. Natural number, integer. These are very important keywords. And question changes if you don't understand them. Okay. Don't worry, we'll do that. For example, now you have raised the question, so I'll just go through this. There was this question in 22 and 21, both years. They have asked this question consecutive 2 years. That if product of three consecutive natural numbers and integer. This was asked in 2021. This was asked in 2022. If product of three consecutive natural numbers or integers is equal to their sum. Product and sum, everybody knows. Product is A into B into C. Sum is A plus B plus. Product of three consecutive natural number is their sum. How many such pairs are there? And product of three integers is their sum. How many such alternatives are there? These are two different questions. All that was different is this. And answer was entirely different. How? Here there is only one pair. 1, 2, 3. What is their product? 3 into 2 into 1, which is 6. 3 into 2. And 3 plus 2 plus 1, 6. So this is the only pair if you take natural number. Natural numbers are, how do you count naturally? 1, 2, 3, 4. That is natural number. When humans were cattle herders, they wanted to count cattle. So how do you count? 1, 2, 3. These are discrete objects, cattle. There is no half a cattle or anything. So this is the only pair. But when we come to integers, what are integers? In integers, we have negative numbers 0 as well as these natural numbers. So something like this. -3, -2, -1, 0, 1, 2, and so on both sides. These are integers, integral values. There is no fraction here. Point में कुछ नहीं है. Okay. These are integers. But if you same question is for integers, we have -1, -2, -3. We have -1, 0, 1, and of course 1, 2, 3. This question was asked in 2022. This was asked in 2021. Consecutive years they have asked. Only one word changed, and answer was changed. So these keywords are important, which we'll study tomorrow. Yes, what else? आप बताइए. हाँ. Okay. See, मैं बताया ना मैंने, यही होता है. When in the end the time pressure mounts, the examination pressure mounts, and you start to feel that कि अब नहीं करूंगा तो पक्का आउट हो जाऊंगा. So I should attempt something. That happens. And 5 में से कितने सही आए? एक भी आया? That happens. It is very natural thing, and it is not happening only with him. It is happening with lot of students. That is why they are getting thrown out of prelims. That is the reality. That is why we have to attempt maximum in first hours, so that itna time ka pressure now second hour में. Perhaps comprehension should be attempted in first hour because they are in large numbers you can attempt. Even if you attempt in first half an hour comprehension, that would be great. And how does reading speed matter? I'll tell you my story. I attempt all 27 comprehension in 15 minutes. And then I'm able to complete entire paper. 80 question I'm able to solve. Only reason is I can finish my comprehension in 15 minutes. I'm not recommending you to solve 80 question. I'm not saying that. I'm saying that reading speed makes a difference. So please don't ignore this reading speed aspect. I'm not asking you, please don't go by what I say, that whatever number of questions I'm attempting, because it doesn't matter. You don't have to compete in that paper. You have to compete in the other papers. So even if you solve 45 questions with sufficient accuracy, you will be through without a doubt. Yes. Okay. Yes. So from tomorrow, that is the first thing we are starting. Numbers. Yes. What else? What are your other expectations from this course? Nothing else. Yes. Fine. Okay. Yes. 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 I understand. I understand. Yes, that is the thing in mathematization or linear equation. Framing the equation is the most difficult part. Once you Hmm. Yes, yes, we have to balance. We have to balance it. But numeracy का 2023 attempt, 2023 paper, the special problem with numeracy was the lengthiness, especially in some questions. And trap was student tend to get trapped in that. So they just keep solving and solving and solving. 10 minutes are gone, 15 minutes are gone, and they're still at that particular question, and they just ha. Hmm. Right. Yes, yes. That is the thing. You cannot ignore arithmetic now. That is just not possible. If you go by 22 and 23 paper, that is there. Yes, ma'am. Okay. Mm. Right. Yes, actually, for that particular question, there are very standardized question in calendar section. That was also one of the standardized question. If you look at our booklets from last year as well, that type of questions were there. There were that what would be the day after X days? You divide just X by 7. But here X was big. X was 10 raised to 10. So that division itself would take time. If you have not encountered such type of question, of course you will not understand what we have to do. You cannot do that in examination hall. Examination hall is not place to devise new formulas for you, devise some methods. No, then you just leave and go ahead. That is okay. But if you know, then you have to manually divide. So there is no shortcut. So yes, again, one of the things that we try to do in this course is we try to use as less number of formulas as possible. I am firm believer that no formulas, no formula system, no formula method of attempting the paper is much better than cramming multiple number of formulas and getting confused which formula to use where. Because that is the thing. If you want to solve, if you want to use formula, कौन सा formula use करना है? This or that or that? Is this the question, right question from that formula? Is this from that particular subsection? So you will get confused because otherwise also you have so many things to cram. So formulas is something you can avoid to cram. Let your brain rest. You can have something else to cram. Cram your optionals. That would give you better results. Cram your GS mains. That would give you better results. Right? Yes. Achha. Main problem you faced was 1 hour for comprehension question. Of course, you'll face time crunch. And if imagine, वो 1 hour की जगह, if you could have done it in 30 minutes, 35 minutes, 40 minutes, you would have those 20 minutes extra to really check if that question is doable or not from math section. नहीं है तो आगे बढ़ो. That you could have done. 80 क्वेश्चन तक पहुंचे भी नहीं होंगे तो that happens because of time crunch, nothing else. If you save time with help of reading speed, you will be able to go through all 80 questions. You never know. Last 5 questions could be very easy for your series A, B, C, D, whatever series you get. You don't know that. So try working on things you can. And I'm not saying that you devote special time for this. Whatever you are reading, be it your optional, be it your GS, be it the newspaper you want to read, anything you want to read for that day, just time it. That is all I'm saying. Don't give special extra time for this. We don't have extra time. Don't give extra time. Yes. Everybody spoke? Yes. Ah. Hmm. 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 Okay. 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 अच्छा. So, मतलब, if those questions are getting wrong, it means somewhere conceptually it was a problematic. वरना अगर हाँ. Hmm. Hmm. See, the problem with the last month strategy is you are too much under pressure with GS. That is there. Yes, online students. अब आपकी बारी. I'm listening to you. Unmute yourself and speak. Fine, fine. So she is saying the questions from the 2023 paper, there were questions like, how many of these statements do you need to solve this particular question? She had problem with that. She got those wrong. Some of those questions were from equations chapter, that how many equations do we need to solve given number of unknowns. So general thumb rule, and I will repeat this particular fact a very large number of times in this duration of this course. So in general, if you have, let us say, 3 unknowns, let us say x, y, and z. If you have 3 unknowns in given set of equations, you need 3 equations, 3 different equations to solve it. Any 3 different equations to solve it. If you have n unknowns, you need n equations to solve it. If you have 2 unknowns, you need 2 equations to solve it. And this simple fact helps you to solve many questions from data sufficiency. This year, there were many questions like how many of these statements are needed to solve this question. This could be very helpful in that type of question. We'll see how. We'll solve each and every PYQ in our classroom. And if you are still having trouble, there are some, we have started PYQ series on YouTube as well. You can refer to that. But I recommend you come to class. We'll solve everything in class. In classes, I can go very slow. In the recorded video series, I have time limits. So here I can do one question multiple times and so on until you realize, until you find it easy. Yes, Lakshay. Acha, time management. And I don't know who is this. 1 plus nod. Do you want to speak? I don't know. Okay, anyway. Anything else? Or should we go ahead and look at 2023 paper? We'll just skim through it. We are not solving it. So there are passages like this. Before every passage, there is an instruction that your answers to this question should be based on this passage only. So UPSC asks you to answer based on only these passages and not your otherwise knowledge or information. We are just seeing type of questions. If you are unable to comment this set. आपको दिख रहा है? अच्छा, तो नहीं, गर्दन नहीं होगा प्रॉब्लम. आपको दिख रहा है? Okay. The type of questions best reflects most rational, practical, immediate action required to ensure whatever is given. That is the one question. Then we have, which of the following is implied by the passage? What is implication? What is coming out of passage? What is something you can take out of the passage based on whatever the author is trying to say? What you can take out? Next question is most logical, rational message conveyed. Author is trying to say something. What is the most rational message that you can gather out of this passage? Now let us look at this question. We have this particular person, Raj, and he has shoes. Some shoes. Some are red, some are white, and some are black. And numbers are given. And he randomly is picking shoe one by one and keeping it out. One by one and keeping it out. And question is, from the box, he should get red pair of shoes to wear. And what is the maximum number of attempts he has to make? This is a puzzle kind of thing. This is not from any specific chapter or anything. He just has lot of shoes in a box. He's taking one by one. And usko red pair of shoes. He wants red pair of shoes to wear. And what is the maximum number? Maximum number, when will maximum number arrive? When his luck is the worst. सबसे ज्यादा बैड लक जब चल रहा है, रेड आ ही नहीं रहा है, निकालते जा रहा है, but रेड आ ही नहीं रहा है. That is the worst case scenario. That is when the maximum number of attempts would be happening. अगर worst case में भी आ रहा है, तो we can guarantee कि हाँ, अच्छे केस में तो आएगा ही, worst में भी आ रहा है. CSAT कितना भी खराब जाए, कितना भी लीस्ट पकड़ो सारे क्लासेस का, तब भी अगर 80 आ रहा है, that is the worst case scenario. उससे ज्यादा ही आएगा. So we are asked here for worst case scenario. What is the maximum number of attempts he needs? तो क्या हो सकता है? रेड चाहिए ना उसको, रेड छोड़ के बाकी सब आ रहा है. So first let us say he gets 9 of white ही आ रहा है सब कुछ. Then it is 9 pairs. So 18 आ गया. Left side, right side. Then अब ब्लैक बचा है, रेड बचा है, उसके बाद ब्लैक आने लग गया, रेड आ ही नहीं रहा है, वर्स्ट केस। तो ब्लैक ब्लैक ब्लैक, हाउ मेनी ब्लैक आर देयर? 8, तो 16 ऑफ दोज, वो 18 आया पहले, देन दिस 16 केम आउट, नाउ 18 and 16, now this 34 we have drawn. Now whatever we draw next would be red, right? अब तो रेड आएगा ही, क्योंकि रेड ही बचा है बस. Now red comes. Good. Left hand or left shoe or right shoe? We know there are two kinds of shoes. One is left leg, one is right leg. They are different. That was the crux here. So you can, if you put two more, there was the option of 36. But what if दोनों भी left hand ही आ जाए, left leg के आ जाए दोनों भी shoes? That is possible. Next two shoes we draw could be of left. They could be of right both. We need one left and one right to wear. पहनना है तो एक लेफ्ट लेग का आना चाहिए, एक राइट लेग का आना चाहिए, है ना? पहनना है ना शू. 36 तो आए, बाकी सब निकल गए, अब रेड ही बचा है अंदर. कितना बचा है? 10 पेयर्स, 10 लेफ्ट 10 राइट, ये बचा है 10 लेफ्ट लेग एंड 10 राइट लेग, रेड बचा है. बट अपना नसीब इतना खराब है कि सारे लेफ्ट ही आ रहे हैं पहले, तो सारे लेफ्ट भी आ गए, 44 तक आ गए. नाउ next shoe I will draw, it has to be right, and then I'll have one left and one right, so one more, 45 was the answer. Now what deep mathematical understanding was required to solve this question? None. So just logical thing. This was puzzle kind of question. Problem here was there was another PYQ where there was same question but for socks. In socks there is no left right. That was the thing. Here it is a shoe and they are specifically giving it a pair of shoes. So shoe is left and right. That is why answer is 40. अगर ये shoe की जगह कुछ tie होता तो answer would be lesser. अगर shoe की जगह socks होता तो answer would be 36. ये 34 गए और अब दो कोई भी निकाल लो रेड वाले. समझ रहे? Don't worry, we'll revisit this question. We are just trying to gauge what type of questions were asked. Now let us see this question. I don't know if you follow cricket or not, but this is cricket reference that a batsman has to score 25 runs and condition is he can only use single runs, fours or sixes, and irrespective of sequence of scoring shot. So scoring shot doesn't matter. मतलब पहले 6 मारा, पहले 4 मारा, पहले single लिया, that doesn't matter. Sequence is not relevant. But we are having some fours, some sixes and some single runs and we have to score 25 runs. Very simple. Question seemingly is not difficult to understand. Now this question is from counting, the basic counting that any one of us can do. What we try to do here is that we have to be methodical about our approach to this question. That let us start with maximum number of sixes. How many maximum sixes can this person hit? 4 sixes. He can hit 6, 6, 6, 6 and 1. Sequence is irrelevant. Sequence doesn't matter. That is the only case for sixes. 4 sixes and a single. That is all. So another next case would be, let us say he hit 3 sixes. Let us say he hit 3 sixes now. How many more he has to score? 7. 18 plus 7 is 25. For 7 runs, he can either have 1 4, 3 runs, or all singles. Right? He can only have 1 4 here. 2 4s, 2 4 मारेगा तो 8 रन हो जाएगा. That we don't want. So these are the only cases. Now we come to next case. What is next case? 2 sixes. 4 sixes हो गया, 3 हो गया, अब 2 पे आएंगे. Now he has to 2 sixes. How many more runs to get? 13 runs. Now let us say 13 we have to get from 4s and 1s. Sixes, 2 sixes वाला case ही हम देख रहे हैं. 13 we can get from only 4s and 1. How many 4s maximum he can hit in 13? 3. 12 plus 1. So he can hit 4 4 4 and whatever rest is single. or he can hit 2 fours, rest of in single. He can hit 1 4, rest in single, or he can take all the singles. Right? Do you see the pattern now? We are done with 4 sixes, 3 sixes, 2 sixes. Now we can go to 1 6. And then last case would be no 6. 1 6, he has to score 19 runs. In 19, you can have 4 fours, rest of them single. You can have 3 fours, rest of them singles. 2 fours, 1 4, or no 4. These are all the cases. We are firstly fixing number of sixes and trying to find out what is the maximum number of fours he can hit. And rest of them is single. This is 4 sixes, 3 sixes, 2 sixes, 1 6, and now no 6 case. All of them are 4, maximum fours, 6 fours at a single. 24, 6 into 4 plus 1. Here 6 4. Then we have 5 4 wala case. We have 4 4 wala case. Then 3 4, 2 4, 1 4, or no 4. All the singles. These are all the cases. Just count how many number of cases we have. And answer, you have 20. Do it yourself. We'll revisit it when we study counting or permutation chapter. All effort for today is to make you understand this was not a difficult paper. This was doable. There were a lot of questions which were easier and something which you could have done in examination hall. ये ठीक था, सिंपल था. You could have done this examination hall in 2 minutes. Cases बनाने थे, but again in 2 minutes you could have done it, right? कर सकते थे, समझ रहे हो? Now let us see this. Again, there are this again new trend is there that in one question there are 2 sub questions hidden. So in essence, you have to solve 2 questions, not 1. So let us see, we have 4 letters and 4 envelopes. Letters hai, envelopes hai, and those envelopes are having address. And each letter has to be sent to some particular person, right? So there are 4 letters, 4 envelopes, meaning there is this letter 1, 2, 3, 4, and there is envelope 1, 2, 3, 4. This is correct. The letter 1 should go to envelope 1, letter 2 goes to 2, this goes to this goes to this, etc. Now, let us just see the first statement. It is possible that exactly 1 letter goes to incorrect envelope. It is possible that exactly 1 letter goes to incorrect envelope. For example, let us say letter 1 goes to incorrect envelope. कोई भी ले लो, letter envelope 2 में जा रहा है, let us say. If letter 1 goes to envelope 2, then letter 2 is also not going to where it should. It will have to go to some incorrect. So बस एक incorrect कभी नहीं हो सकता. It has to be 2 at least. हो सकता है कभी. ये तो again, this is not coming from mathematics. It is again puzzle kind of thing. First part of the question. If letter 1 goes to wrong envelope, that particular right letter will also not go to right envelope ना, क्योंकि अब इस envelope में तो भर दिया letter, इसको कहीं और ही जाना पड़ेगा 1 4 या 3 में, तो ये भी गलत जाएगा. अगर ये गलत जा रहा है तो ये भी गलत जाएगा. So at least 2 letters should go to wrong envelope, not 1. So this statement is wrong. That much is simple. That much is clear. समझ रहे हो? पक्का? ठीक है, हम बाद में फिर से देखेंगे इसको, but still. And this is from permutation combination chapter. That will solve when we come to that chapter. Today we are just seeing the questions. We don't want to solve each and every question. Again, this is again frequently appearing question that they are giving you some multiplication, big multiplication, and they are asking you what is the remainder when you divide this number by 100. All of you are English medium, na? There is no one from Hindi. So what are they saying? We are trying to divide this number by 100. So this question is from definition of division. When does one number divide other? When this number is factor of this number. what is the remainder? When remainder is this number, what is this? X is equal to 100 times some quotient plus remainder, right? This is called dividend. This is called divisor. This is called quotient. And whatever you get here is remainder. This is how a long division is performed. And we can write this like this. So we are trying to write this X as 100Q plus R. So if you know, if you try to divide this by 100, 100 is nothing but 2 square into 5 square. Prime factorization. Again, something which we'll learn in our this week or next week. So if you try to divide, we can cancel 5 from here. We can cancel one more 5 from here. This is 19. This is 17. Tables. Tables कहाँ तक आते हैं आपको? Important question. Tables. Do you remember tables? No? Exercise for this week. Tables till 20. At least 20. If you are feeling particularly confident, go till 30. Not more than that. But tables till 20 is something that we require. And it is actually required, not in this question, but in some other question. And 2 square, you can cancel 2 square from here. So this 100 is in fact entirely sitting in this number. 100 is factor of this number. This number is divisible by 100. All same thing I'm repeating in different wordings. So if this number is divisible by 100, remainder is 0. In this kind of question, 90% of the questions that have been asked by UPSC, remainder is 0. There is one exception where remainder was not 0. The remainder was 50. Again, the question was, what is the remainder when we divide by 100? And the remainder was 50. हाँ, ये वाला तो 0 था. There was, yes, mostly 0 होता है. So if you have only 30 seconds, just mark 0 and move ahead. Last year same pattern पे question था. This number 91 into 92 into 93 into 94 into 95 into 96 into 97 into 98. This was the number given. And question was, what is the remainder when we divide this number by 1261? Again, if you don't want to attempt, just mark 0 and move ahead. It will be right in 95% of the cases. But if you want to be sure, this question was to be done by, this is just, you have to factorize this. Prime factorization of this number you have to find. How do we find prime factorization? You try to divide this number by various prime numbers and see which divides. 2 divide करता है? नहीं करता. This is odd number. 3, no. 4, no. Not 4. 2, 3, then 5, then 7, then 11. None of them divide. But when you divide by 13, you get 13 into 97. Again, this is something you can assume right now, but point to note here is that you have to divide by 13. When can you divide by 13? When you know the table of 13. Otherwise, नहीं होगा ना. So UPSC expects you to know the table of 13. Last year का question है ये. खुद से नहीं बना रहा हूँ. Table याद रहना चाहिए. 20 तक का table is expected. Okay. So once you get this, now you just divide 10, 97 cancel हो जाएगा. And 13, 7 are 91. So again, this 1261 is a factor of this number, so remainder is 0. Same pattern पे question था. Yes, ये किया था आपने? ये हो गया होगा या नहीं? Again, we have repeated this umpteen number of time in class. This kind of expansion. When we have this number raised to this number, and question is always units place in this number. Now, any time in examination, you feel that ये कैसे करेंगे examination hall में? Nobody in their right mind would ask you to calculate this manually. You cannot do it right now even. No one can ask you to do that. So there would be some pattern forming. Whenever you feel that ये class में नहीं हो सकता, ये manually solve नहीं कर सकते, try to look for pattern. There would be some pattern, and you will try to identify it. And you will, once you identify the pattern, it will be cakewalk. And I have already told in this in class, and I'm telling you right now that whenever we are trying to find out units place of this particular number, none of this number matter. Only the 2 matters, which is at the units place. Why does it happen? We'll come to it when we study powers. But right now, take it as a fact that only units place matters. So what do we have for unit place? 2 raised to this number. What is this number? This you can multiply. This is 945. So we have 2 raised to 945. And some number is here. That is irrelevant. That doesn't matter. So we have to find out units place of this particular number. Nobody can calculate it manually. So we'll try to see if there is some pattern. What is the units place of 2 raised to 1? 2 raised to 1 is 2. So units place is 2. Units place of 2 raised to 2? 2 raised to 3. 2 raised to 3 is 8. 2 into 2 into 2. That is 8. 2 raised to 4 is 16. What is units place? 6. 2 raised to 5? 32. Units place? 2. 2 raised to 6? 64. Units place? 4. 64 ka 4. Units place, just we are. So can you see? 2486, 2486, 2486, 2486. So whenever we take powers of 2, unit place repeats in the blocks of 4. Okay. So whenever we are taking any power of 2, let us say 2 raised to 10. 2 raised to 10. We are trying to find out what is the remainder, what is the unit place when we expand this. ये 4 हो गए, 2 raised to 4 यहाँ तक आ गए, then 2 raised to 8 and 2 more for 10. So in the blocks of 4 we come, and then whatever remains, remainder, after we divide this by 4, 10 by 4, you go that much ahead. If it is not clear, that is okay. Take it as a fact for now that whenever we have this kind of number, 2 raised to something, we just divide this by 4, power by 4, and see remainder. So 945, if you divide by 4, can you do this division? You can perform this division. 4 to the 8. Remainder is 1. Otherwise also you can say that this 944 is divisible by 4. If you know the divisibility test of 4, which we'll study in our classes in next week, you will see that this is divisible by 4 and this is just 1 ahead. The remainder is 1. Because it is appearing in blocks of 4, no? 2 4 86, 2 4 86. So that is why we divide by 4. It will become clearer when we study powers. So remainder is 1. So what is the unit place? 2. That was the answer. Answer is 2. Option also you see 2, 4, 8, 6, 8. Only those options are given. Now this is very easy question. This is from addition, basic addition. Nothing else you need. You just need to know how do we add usually. What are they doing? We are having 3-digit numbers, A, B, C, and D here. And these are digits. These are non-zero digits that is given. And we are adding this A, B, C plus D, E, F. And what is the sum given? 1, 1, 1, 1. We know this, and we have to find out this quantity. Fine. Now, whenever we add, how do we add? We firstly start with units place. We add this with this. कोई भी number ले लो. Let us say 1, 2, 3 plus 4, 5, 6. How do we add? We add 6 plus 3, 9. And if there is some carry forward, we take that carry forward. If instead of 3, this is, let us say, 7. 7 plus 6, 13. 13 ka 3 here. Then we take 1 carry forward. And then 5 plus 2 plus 1, which is 8. And 4 plus 1 is 5. This is the addition. That is how we do addition. Same thing we have to just apply there. We are having C plus F as 1. This 1 can come from 1 or 11. It can be from 1 or 11. That is the only choice. Can it be 1? It cannot be 1 because these both are non-zero. That is given in the question, that they are non-zero. That is given that they are non-zero. So C plus F, this 1 has to come from 11. Right? There is no other choice. Because if you want one of them have to be 0 and one of them have to be 1. But none of them can be 0, that is given. So what do we have? C plus F is equal to 11. So if here there is 1 of 11, you get 1 carry forward. Same thing. Now B plus E plus 1, we are getting 1. Again, this 1 can come from 1 or 11. If this comes from 1, both of them have to be 0. Then only 0 plus 0 plus 1 can be 1. That is not allowed because non-zero. So B plus E has to be 10. 10 plus 1, then it can come as 11. So what do we have? B plus E equal to 10. And then B plus E plus 1 is 11. Again, carry forward 1. And now A plus D plus 1 is 11. So A plus D is again 10. If we add both things, left hand side and right hand side, what do we get on left hand side? This quantity. And on right we get answer is D. This question was from basic addition. Simple, hai na? Is it difficult? No, definitely not. And there are 13 questions like this. Fine. Let us move ahead. This is not some questions we'll do in our next class. Again, look at the question. Crucial message conveyed by the author. Most rational assumptions. Assumptions is one of the favorite questions of UPSC. Assumptions they ask you every now and then. Assumption is something which is implicit, something which may not be explicitly said in the passage, but something which is assumed by the author. For example, what are the things I'm assuming when I'm speaking this to you? I'm assuming that you know English. That is why I'm speaking in English. That is my assumption that you know English. Right? So whenever author writes anything, he has some assumptions in my mind in terms of reader's ability to understand his language and in terms of his biases. He has assumed few things before writing, and that is when he's starting to write. So those assumptions may not actually be there in the passage, but something which you have to, as a reader, gauge what is assumptions, what is something which is implicit in what author is trying to say. Assumption is something which is implicit, not explicitly written in the passage. Next question, crux of the passage. Crux is one single most important thing. Whenever author is trying to convey something, he has this main message he wants to deliver. Main thing, or main crux of the passage, main soul of the passage. Why he's writing that passage? That is something which is asked. There is another popular question which is inferences. Inference is something which you can take out of the passage. There can be multiple inferences because author may want to say multiple things. You as a reader can take out multiple things out of the passage. So inferences in general can be multiple, but crux is only one. Main बात तो एक ही होगी, बाकी बातें बहुत सारी हो सकती है. Something which can take out, that can be multiple. Now this is question. This is uh, first question which we'll do tomorrow. This is from odd numbers and even numbers. Odd numbers are not divisible by 2. Even numbers are divisible by 2. That is the only fact you need. But it is not as easy as that. You have to apply yourself to actually find the answer. Then this question, this is very easy question, one of the easiest, because this is a repeated question. This statement is directly repeated from last year. What we have is, we have some prime number and a composite number. What is prime number? Prime number is a number which is divisible by only itself and 1. 2, 3, 5, 7. Prime numbers are very important in a lot of areas, including our first chapter of arithmetic. There are very many questions from prime numbers and prime factorization that get asked. Even the last question, divisibility question, we had to do prime factorization. So prime numbers are important. And this question has been repeated. Last year, same question was there. So these two statements were different. This was same statement. Last year statement, वैसा का वैसा उठा है, word to word. So in this type of question, and composite number is number which is not prime number and not 1. 1 is neither prime nor composite. And prime, then we have prime numbers and rest of them are composite numbers. मतलब something which is divisible by other numbers. 4 हो गया, 9 हो गया, 15 हो गया, and something like that. So here we are saying that this can be true, this can be true, this can be true. Anyway, because there is can, it is higher probability that all these statements are correct. But one way to solve this question is that you know first few prime numbers, you know first few composite number, and you just try to put it. For example, in this thing, we know 11 is a prime number and 9 is a composite number. So we take 11 plus 9 upon 11 minus 9 is equal to 20 by 2 is equal to 10. Is 10 even number? Yes. So this can be true. Okay. Then 2p plus c can be odd. When is addition of two numbers odd? When one of them is even, one of them is odd. So odd plus odd is even. Even plus even is even. And odd plus even is odd. For example, let us take two odd numbers. 1 plus 3. What is 1 plus 3? 4. Even number. 5 plus 7. Both odd numbers. 12. Even number. Even plus even. 2 plus 6. 8. Even number. But 1 odd and 1 even. 1 plus 2. 3. Odd number. Or 5 plus 6. 11. Odd number. When 1 odd and 1 even number, we get odd number. So what is this statement saying? It is saying that this addition is odd. This addition can be odd. When it can be odd, when 1 is even number, 1 is odd. And this is always even number. 2 into something is even number. Even number का मतलब ही तो है कि 2 is a factor of that. 2 is clearly factor of 2p. So question is, can C be odd? Can we have odd composite number? Yes, there are many. 9 है, 15 है, बहुत सारे, 21 है. There are many odd composite numbers. So this is also true. And third, is this product odd? When is this product odd? When both the numbers are odd. Do we have all odd prime number? Yes, there are so many, 3, 5, 7, 11. Do we have odd composite number? Yes, 15, 9. So all the statements are correct. So answer is D. Same question was asked last year. This was same. The about two statements were different, but pattern was exactly this. This we solve in the next class. Again, from basic multiplication. Look at this. This is from basic multiplication. We have a 3-digit number ABC, and we are multiplying with D to get 37DD. And these are non-zero digits and different digits. That is given, and based on that, we have to calculate this A plus B plus C. It is not difficult. It may seem difficult, but it is from basic multiplication. Now, in this question, again, a very standard question, something which has been asked previously in different format. and we'll see in the next booklet that how they have asked it earlier. We are having number of this form, and we have to comment if this is divisible by 7, 10, 7, 13, and 11. Okay. 11 you can directly comment because 11 ka test you may be familiar with, that we take alternate digits and we take difference between that. So here x plus y plus z and x plus y plus z alternate, and we take difference between those two. Difference is 0, divisible by 11, so number is divisible by 10. If not, don't worry. In this type of questions, all you can simply do is put values. Take x, y, z as anything, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and see what is true. But be ensure that you are doing it for one more number, because this for one number it might be true for all three, but for some other number it might be true for only two. So you have to ensure that if you are taking example, then you are doing it for at least two values. So for example, let us take 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3 and try to divide by 7, 10, 7, 11, and 13. And then you can take, say, 1, 2, 4, 1, 2, 4. Try the same thing. Answer would be D. There is a more formal way to do this using place value system, that we'll do tomorrow when we study place value system. Okay. Tomorrow or the day after. Tomorrow we'll study place value, but maybe we'll come to this question day after tomorrow. Let us see. And UPS has already asked this question, that they had asked this. We have, they were saying this into D, E, E, D is equal to ABC, ABC. They had given this, and question was, what is D and E? ABC are any digits, and this kind of multiplication works out. So what is D, E, E, D? That was the question. So here, if you see, same pattern is there. XYZ, XYZ, ABC, ABC. So this XYZ, XYZ, XYZ is actually something like this. ABC into DE, ED. And this DE, ED is nothing but, XYZ into 1001. And if you check now with dividing by 7, 11, and 13, this 1001 is divisible by all three of them. So answer is D. That's how you can use PYQs as well. This was previously asked in different format or avatar. Don't worry if you are finding it little bit heavy. We'll come to it tomorrow or day after tomorrow again, and then we'll do it very formally so that you'll understand how do we arrive at that kind of number 1001. Okay, so this is again simple question, something which you study in class regularly, but this question was not asked for last 3-4 years. This type of question, cube and its arrangements. But suddenly they asked two questions on it. This was the one question, and there was one more question on cube. So you don't know which questions can come from where, in which year, which topic becomes important. So it is important that we are well versed in multiple topics, so that even if they ask something which they may not have asked in recent time, we can do it. What they are saying is, we are having 125 identical cubes arranged in form of 120 and in a cubical block. 125 cubes what we have, and we are arranging it such that it is a cubical block. If you know initial cube, you can identify that 125 is a cube of 5. 5 into 5 into 5 is 125. So what we have essentially is this kind of arrangement, that this is a cubical block of 5 into 5 into 5, something like this. Okay, this is what we have. This is what we have. Question is, how many cubes are surrounded by cubes from each side? These are 125 cubes stacked over one another. Question is, we want to find out number of cubes that are surrounded by other cubes. Matlab, if I am a cube, I am a small cube, I want cubes on all my sides. Upar, niche, aage, piche, ye. On all sides, I need cubes. When can that happen? If I'm on the surface, if this particular sphere, if this particular cube is taken, any cube on surface, does it have cubes on all sides? अब ये क्यूब है तो इसकी इस साइड तो क्यूब नहीं है ना, इस साइड तो हवा है. इफ यू टेक दिस क्यूब, इसके इस साइड तो कुछ है नहीं क्यूब, राइट? If cube is on the surface, at least one side it doesn't have a cube. Cube कैसा होता है? Cube ऐसा दिखता है. It has 6 surfaces, 1 2 3 and ये आगे वाली 1 2 3 4 5 and 6. It has 6 surfaces. We need cubes on all surfaces. But if you have a surface sphere, surface cube, then at least on one side we don't have a sphere. At least on one surface we don't have a sphere. At least on one side we don't have a sphere. जैसे ये वाला ले लिया अगर मैंने, if I take this one, we don't have sphere on this side, ऊपर वाली side. कॉर्नर वाला तो मल्टीपल साइड्स पे नहीं है स्क्वायर क्यूब. बट इवन फॉर सरफेस ones, we don't have cube on upper side, right? So what we essentially want is all those cubes in this which are not on the surface, right? We want all those cubes which are not on the surface. Surface वाला तो चाहिए ही नहीं. But if I come one down from this, let us say ये वाला क्यूब ले लिया मैंने, ऐसे बीच में है रूम, तो उसके सारे साइड पे क्यूब्स ही है, right? बीच वाला ले लिया. If I take some cube in the middle, it has all cubes on all the sides, no issue. Only surface ones are problematic. The question is about finding out the cubes that are not on the surface, that are in the inside. I don't want surface. I don't want cube on the surface. So here I have a cube. I come one down. I have cube in the bottom surface. I come one up. What do we have? This was 5 earlier. I come one here, one from here, one from here. What do we have? 3. Similarly, I come one from this side, one from this side. Again 3. And one from this side, one from this side. I have 3. Now I have 3 by 3 by 3 cube inside, which is what we wanted. All those cubes in this 3 by 3 by cube is what we wanted. What is 3 into 3 into 3? 27. That is the answer. Okay. Again, a standard question from cube chapter. But this was not asked for last 3-4 years. Suddenly they have asked 2 questions on it. Online students, are you with me? Yes, so rahe ho? Yes. Okay, good. Now, very, very standard questions from permutations and combination chapter. Herein, we have to rearrange this number such that odd digits occupy odd positions and even digits occupy even positions. We have to know odd digits out of this, even digits out of this, and permute them. We'll do that when we do come to permutation and combination chapter, because right now you may not be able to understand it and you may unnecessarily get bogged down. That we don't want. Today, our aim is to make you understand this paper was doable. Now, let us come to this question. We have these 3 persons who work in 8, 16 and 12 days. This is very standard work and time question, or apparently very standard. There is some twist in this. What is happening is A is working on Monday, B is working on Tuesday, C is working on Wednesday. Then A again works on Thursday, B works on Friday, C works on Saturday, and this goes on. Now, question is, we have 2 questions. So, in one question, there are 2 questions that are hidden. First is that work will be finished on Thursday. And second is the work will be finished in 10 days. Firstly, you solve as we do usually do. There is this standard procedure to solve work and time problems, that we calculate how much work A does in a single day, how much work B does in a single day, how much work C does in a single day, and so on. And because A does full work in 8 days, A will finish work in 8 days. So A does 1/8 work in 1 day, B does 1 by 60, C does 1 by 12. So this much is work is done in 3 days. This is in 4 days. This is in 5 days, and so on. So we have to calculate when does entire work gets over, meaning when this addition becomes 1, that we have to see on which day that happens, that we have to compute. Is it 10 or 11? It happens on the 11th. I'm just telling you the answer. And the work will be finished on Thursday. The problem or the trick here is that they have not mentioned which Thursday. ये वाला, अगला वाला, उसके अगला वाला, कौन सा Thursday? They have not specified it. So actually, work gets finished on the next Thursday. मतलब आज start किया Monday से, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday हो गया. Now next week starts again Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and on the Thursday this work actually gets over. So this statement is correct. This statement is wrong. Answer is A. Because they have not mentioned which Thursday. They have kept it vague. And here, I think it is instead of 10, 11 days are required. We'll solve it when we come to work and time problem, work and time chapter. Don't worry. But this is LR question. Problem with LR question was, this was too long to read at the first instance. You can see 5-6 lines are there. Then you have to add fractional addition. You have to keep adding fractions, 1 by 8 plus 1 by 16 plus 1 by 12 and so on. So it was time consuming, and plus it had 2 sub questions in it. So that's why it was a little bit lengthier problem. Again, let us see what questions on passages. Most logical rational implication conveyed. ये तो बस ऐसे qualifier words है. Most logical rational. Basically, we have to talk about what is the implication. Inference. Most best reflects the logical inference. Here they are giving one inference only in each option. In some questions, they are giving you multiple inferences because one passage can have multiple inferences. But whenever they ask most logical rational inference, it is usually they are talking about one inference or best implication. Inference, implication are interchangeably used. Most logical rational inference. Again, same question. This is again puzzle kind of thing. You have to play around with it a bit, and you'll get the answer. If you are able to solve within 1 to 2 minutes in examination hall, well and good. If not, you should move ahead. There would be some pattern that would be forming in this type of question. If you can identify that pattern, good. If not, let us just move ahead. There are millions of patterns that could be there. You cannot manually check each and every one. Again, this is a simple question on factorization, that this is x is a positive integer such that 7x plus 96 is divisible by x. So this number is divisible by x. All we have to write is the condition for divisibility. So for example, if this number 7x plus 96 is divisible by 8, divisible by x, it means it is some multiple of x. This is what we mean by divisibility. We'll come to divisibility again, but just I'm telling you how easily it could have been solved. This number is divisible by x, meaning it is some multiple of x. If 10 is divisible by 2, it means 10 is equal to 2 into something. That something is 5. So 10 is some multiple of 2. That is what we mean by divisibility. Or in other words, if let us say any number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and if we say that this number is divisible by 3, okay, then what are you saying? We have some quotient here, and when we subtract, we get remainder 0. This is what we mean by divisibility and complete divisibility. So in a sense, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is equal to 3 into quotient. This is what we are writing here. Remainder is 0. So we have x on the both sides. So I'll take x, 7x in this side. So we get kx 96 is equal to kx minus 7x, which is equal to k minus 7 times x. K minus 7 is any number, some integer. Okay. So basically 96 is equal to something into x. So 96 itself is a multiple of x. So x is divisor of 96. Now all we have to do is check which numbers are divisors of 96. How many values of x are possible? However number of divisors are there of 96. Just manually we have to count. Is 1 a divisor of 96? Yes. Then we can put x equal to 1 and we'll get one value of k. So x equal to 1 is possible. We have to find how many values of x are possible. X only condition is x is divisible by 96 is divisible by x. That is the only condition. Because 96 equal to some number into x. So 96 is divisible by x. We have to find numbers which are 96 numbers by which 96 is divisible. So 1, yes. 2, does 2 divide 96? 3, yes. 4, yes. 5, no. 6, yes. 7, no. 8, yes. 9, no. 3 is yes. 9 is no. We'll come to divisibility test. Divisibility test of 3 is when we add these two numbers, sum of the digits should be divisible by 3. Here 9 plus 6 is 15. 15 is divisible by 3. That is why number is divisible by 3. For 9, same test. Sum of the digits has to be divisible by 9. 9 plus 6 is 15. Is 15 divisible by 9? No. Thus, that is why number is not divisible by 9. 10, no. 11, no. 12, yes. 12 heads are 96. Tables. Tables रटे होनी चाहिए. And now because we have this pattern, because 12 and 8 is pair, what is the pair of 96? 16 6 are 96. For 4, 24 4s are 96. Then this is 32, this is 48, and this is 96. How many factors are there? This is what you need to do. Don't worry, we'll revisit this question. If you have not understood it, don't bother. नहीं किससे डिवाइड हो रहा है नहीं कितने नंबर से डिवाइड हाउ मेनी वैल्यूज ऑफ एक्स नॉट विच वैल्यूज ऑफ एक्स हाउ मेनी वैल्यूज ऑफ एक्स नॉट विच वैल्यू नाउ दिस इज द सिंपलेस्ट क्वेश्चन ये तो हर कोई कर लेगा आई थिंक जिन्होंने प्रीलिम ये किया था नहीं किया था okay this is the question which we should have done. Very easy question, because you see what they are saying is these are single digits. These are digits. P, Q, and R and S are digits, non-zero digits, and we want this product to be maximum. So P, Q, R, S क्या होने चाहिए logically? 9, 8, 7, 6. P, Q, R, S यही होने चाहिए because we want this product to be maximum. तो छोटे नंबर लेने से क्या फायदा? अगर मैक्सिमम ही करना है तो बड़े नंबर ले लो. Right? So they should be, I mean, PQRS would be 6, 7, 8, 9 in some order. Some order. Matlab, they can be 6, 7, 8, 9, or they can be 6, 8, 7, 9, or they can be 6, 9, 7, 8. That is the only possibility. अब इसको Q ले लो, इसको Q ले लो, उससे फर्क नहीं पड़ता. This is just addition. 7 plus 6 is 6 plus 7. So it doesn't matter which you take P and which you take Q. Here it matters. मतलब यहाँ पे ये दो कौन से ले रहे हो, यहाँ पे दो कौन से ले रहे हो. That matters, but order is not relevant here because P plus Q is Q plus P. These are the only possibilities. Only 3 possibilities are there. Number तो यही होने चाहिए 6, 7, 8, 9 because we want maximum product. तो maximum number से होने चाहिए वो. These are the maximum numbers. So we can have 6, 7, 8, 9. Or so these 3 cases we can just directly multiply and check. ये क्या है 6 plus 7 13 into 17 this is 14 into 16 this is 15 into 15. If you remember tables you can multiply it very easily, otherwise it will be little bit laborious. 13 का टेबल याद है 13 7s are 91 9 carry 13 1s are 1 plus 13 plus 9 22 This is 14 6 are 84. Acha. 14 6 are 84. Carry 8. 14 ones are 14 plus 8, 22. And this is 15 square, 225. Which is highest? 225. That was the answer. It was very simple. Only these many calculations were required. ऑनलाइन स्टूडेंट्स ठीक है, ठीक चल रहा है. यस, कुछ लग रहा है थोड़ा सा आसान हो सकता है, डुएबल है. डू यू फील दैट these things are doable, or are you still feeling that it is undoable, something very out of the ordinary? Now this question, again, let us just read the question. What we have is, we have this number n, which is formed by 999 times. We are writing one digit, one single digit, 99 times. ऐसे 99 times लिखा जा रहा है, 99. And then we are dividing it by 13. And then we are trying to find out remainder. Can any examiner in their right mind ask you to do this in examination hall? Right? No. So there has to be some pattern. All our target is to find that pattern and solve this question. We'll solve this in the next class, because anyway we are solving it tomorrow or day after tomorrow. But the pattern is formed. We'll see the pattern in tomorrow's class. Again, next question. We have a 9-digit number. Each digit of a 9-digit number is 1, and it is multiplied by itself. It is a fancy way of saying we have a number like this: 111, 111, 111. And we are multiplying by itself, means we are squaring it. Okay. And question is, what is the sum of the digits of this resulting number? Again, can any examiner in their right mind ask you to square this number in examination hall? No. There has to be some pattern forming. So let us see. This pattern is very easy to see. Let us see 1 square. What is 1 square? 1. Right. What is 11 square? 121. Okay. Let us do one more. 111 square. This you can do in examination hall. Huh? Which you can do, na? Let us see. 111 into 111. 111 ones are 111. Carry forward 11. 111 ones are 111 plus 11. 111 plus 11. So 122. Uska 2. Carry forward 2. 111 ones are 111 plus 12. 123. 1 2 3 2 1. Pattern दिख रहा है. You are able to see the pattern. Whatever number of digits we have here, whatever number of ones we have here, वहां तक जाना है और नीचे आना है. So what would be square of this number? This would be 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 8 8 7 6 5 4 3 2 1. आ गया square. Now just add. Add the digits. Either you can manually add, or you can use this addition and this addition. I don't know if you are aware, but whenever we add these numbers like 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus up to n, what we have is n into n plus 1 by 2. Okay, this is a formula. So here we have 8 into 9 by 2 plus 9, and this is again 8 into 9 by 2. So this is 2 times this. This is 2 cancel. 9 into 8, 72 plus 9 is 81. It is the answer. If you don't want to use the formula, directly add these digits. That is also fine. But you should get 81 as the answer. Cool. Okay, cube वाला नहीं समझा पूरा. कोई बात नहीं. We'll study the cube chapter in detail. Today, our only aim is to just see that it is doable. जो भी डर है वो जाना चाहिए. That is the aim. Now, this question is sum of all the digits that appear in all the integers from 10 to 100. So we have these integers. So we have 10 here, we have 11 here, 12 here, 13 here, as a 20, and here we have 21, 31 till 91, and here you have 92 till 100. They have something like this. And question is sum of all the digits that appear. Which digits are appearing here? 0 is appearing, 1 is appearing many times, 2 is appearing many times, 3 is appearing many times. And we want to find out sum of all those digits. 0 तो लेने की जरूरत है नहीं. 0 तो कोई sum में add नहीं करता. 0 plus anything is that number. Right? We calculate how many times 1 appears, how many times 2 appears, how many times 3 appears. That we see. And we just find out the sum. We add them all together. For example, how many times 1 appears? 1 appears here once. Then 1 appears in 11, 21, 31. These 9 times 1 will appear. And it will appear in 11, 12, 13. Here also 1 will appear till 19. That is the all places where 1 will appear. यहाँ पे आएगा, यहाँ पे आएगा, और यहाँ पे, और यहाँ पे. How many times total? ये 9, 11 to 91, 1 to 9. ये 9, 11 to 19. 18 हो गए. This is 19 and this is 20. 1 आ रहा है 20 times. 1 is coming 20 times. Now let us see about 2. How many times 2 comes? 9 times here. Sorry, 9 times here. 12, 22, 20, 32, 42, 52 till 92. 9 times there. 9 times here. From 21, 22, 23, 24 to 29. 9 plus 9, 18, and plus in 20. So 19 times 2 is appearing. Why is 1 appearing once more? Because 1 is there in 100. That is also we have to take. That is why 1 is appearing there. So how many times 3 will appear? Same thing. 19. 4 will appear 19, and 9 will also appear till 19 times. These are all the digits that appear. What is sum of all these ones? 20. What is sum of all these 2s? 2 into 19. 2s है ना वो सारे. 2 plus 2 plus 2 plus 2. 19 times. 2 into 19. This is 3 into 19. ऐसा करते करते 9 into 19. And ultimately you add all of them together. That is what we had to do. Manually count how many times each digit appears and then just add. We'll add it in the next class. I mean, you will try to add it. And if you fail, then I'll do it. कोई punishment नहीं. Now this question is from basic geometry combined with permutation and combination. Question is, we have this kind of figure. We have a square and we have 6 points. 2 on this, 2 on this, 1 here and 1 here. These 6 points, I'm not reading the question. I'm just telling you what is the question. This is the question. And question is, we have to find how many triangles are possible to be drawn using these points. When we, to draw triangle, what is the condition? How many points we need? 3 points. Any 3 points. Using any 3 points, we can draw a triangle until and unless they are not in straight line. I mean, if the 3 points are like this, then you cannot draw the triangle. Except this case, in every case we can draw a triangle. ये पॉइंट अगर कहीं पे भी ऊपर नीचे होगा इनमें से कोई भी तो चल जाएगा, बस तीनों एक लाइन में नहीं होना चाहिए. दैट इज द ओनली कंडीशन. तो यहाँ पे 3 पॉइंट कोई है एक लाइन में. In this figure, there are no 3 points in one line, so there is no such condition. So you can choose any 3 lines, 3 points, and you'll get a triangle. How many ways are there to choose 3 points out of 6 points? 6, choose 3. This is from permutation combination chapter. Directly, the answer is, I think, 20. Answer is 20. This directly answer gives you 20. This is nothing but 6 factorial by 3 factorial, 3 factorial. We'll come to it when we study permutation and combination chapter. So this was mixture of geometry with permutation combination. From both the questions, very basic concepts were required. Again, popular question, assumptions, very popular question. And I think this had 2 questions on it. I said na, there cannot be 2 difficult questions on a single passage. And in any case, if there are 2 questions, you should anyway attempt it, because एक passage से 2 question मिल रहे हैं, अच्छी बात है. Crux of the passage. Assumptions. Most logical, rational, practical message conveyed. Assumptions. This is again a puzzle kind of question, much like what we saw in shoes wala question. वैसे ही type का है, more or less. Now we have balls. Box contains 14 black balls, 20 blue balls. ये green है, ये yellow है, ये red है. And then there are 2 different questions. So it could be time consuming because you have to solve 2 questions in 1 question. That could be your indicator कि अगर बहुत ही कम time है, if you come across this question in last half an hour or last 15 minutes, just leave it. Because to get it correct, you have to solve 2 questions. That is the only reason to leave it. This is not difficult question. This is very easy. Question is, first is for the smallest number n such that any n balls drawn from the box randomly must contain one full group of at least one color. What does it mean? Question समझ में आ गया? We are drawing one by one, one by one. We want to find out the condition such that इतने ball मैं बाहर निकाल लूं. We want to find out how many minimum number of balls I should draw so that I can be sure कि एक color, one color should have full set outside. There are some balls inside, na? There is black balls, there are blue balls, green, yellow, etc. So, for example, I need all the black balls out, or I need all the green balls out, or I need all the yellow or red or anything, all those balls out. Now, again, we take worst case scenario. नहीं आ रहे एक कलर की balls. For example, सारे black आ गए, 13 black आ गए balls, but 14th नहीं आ रहा. 14th is stuck. Before that 14th, all these blue balls are coming. Again, 19 blue balls are coming. Then 25 green balls are coming. 1, everything is remaining inside. 27 of these are coming. 37 of these are coming. 53 of these are coming. And now, after worst case is over, next ball, whichever ball I choose, I'll get one full set. That is the worst case scenario. वो करके ऐड देख लो, ये आएगा. Second question, the smallest number of n such that any m balls drawn from the box randomly must contain at least one ball of each color. Now we need one ball of each color. Now we assume, again worst case scenario, एक ही ball आते जा रहा है, only one color is coming out. है ना? Different cases है, थोड़ा सा different है. We have to do the same thing. We have to take worst case scenario. Imagine all only black balls are coming. Now again we have to find out the least. तो एकदम worst case scenario क्या हो सकता है? सबसे ज्यादा जिसके balls है वही आ रहा है बस 54 ही आते जा रहे हैं 54 out coming out after that 38 come out after that 28 come out and then lastly when we come to this you'll get the for sure this white ball black ball and you have one ball of each color. Again add that you'll get that one. We'll do it in the class in our that particular chapter. Is from puzzles. I think I have put in the puzzles PYQ. So we'll do it there. Again, this is very easy. This kind of question are the easiest type of question. And what we do here is, you can say trick or anything. Yeah. We write A, B, C, D till M. And we write M. After that, we write N beneath it. O, P until X, Y, and Z. We write till M here and then reverse order from N to this side. 1, 2, 3. We write numbers here. We get 13 and 14, 15 up to 20. Why we do this? To get pairing. So here we get circular kind of thing. Plus we get pairing. Many times questions, whenever they are designed in sequence and series chapter or this kind of codes, they are from the pairing. That is why we write in this stuff. Now we just check if Z0 is run from is written as CHUR. From Z we go to C. From Z we go to C. So either we go to pair plus 2 or we got 3 ahead. Skip 2 and 1 ahead. Next is E goes to H. From E you go to H. So second one is there. So 2 skip and next letter is chosen. 2 skip and next letter is chosen. And now just have to check this. You can do that. Very easy. अरे यार. So this is the question that Lavanya was talking about. She faced difficulty in this. We are given 5 statements out of about these 5 people: A, B, C, D, E, F. 6 people, and we have to decide who is the oldest person. Now to decide who is the oldest person, we need comparison between all of them. Somewhere or the other, we need some relation between all of them. Now, how do we begin this question? See, there is only one statement about the E. There is only one statement where E is referred. There is no E anywhere else. So you have to have this information. उसके अलावा E के बारे में कुछ पता ही नहीं चलेगा if you don't have this statement. So this statement is necessary. Similarly, to get any information on C, this statement is necessary. C is only one. C is referred only once. So that information becomes crucial. Then to get any information on B, you need first statement. Otherwise, no information on B is there. So like that, we need this statement, we need this statement, we need this statement. Now to compare between A and B, we have comparison. To compare between A and F, you need this statement. And to compare between D and F, you need this statement. So all statements are needed, but we have to ensure that after all statements together, we have the answer. We just check using our basic concepts of relation. Blood relation wala chapter. We'll study how to draw family tree. We just draw family tree kind of thing to compare and we'll get the answer. Answer is all 5 here. Again, similar, very same concept we use here. We have to find out relation between E and B. So about E, only one statement has this information. Then about D, then E is connected to D. But now we need information about D. So D, only one more statement is there. So this information we need. And after C, we need this information. And to connect it with B, we need this information. All the information is needed. You can check by drawing the family tree. We'll do that in that particular chapter. This is very easy question. I mean, no need to put pen to paper kind of question. Question is, these are the 4 options and we have to find out odd man out. Now, if you know prime numbers till 100, you can solve this just by looking at it. You can see that all these are prime numbers. 17, 37, 47, 97. These are also prime numbers. These are also prime numbers. But here, this 91 is not a prime number. The answer is D. We don't need to put pen to paper. Only we need to know prime number till 100. So your exercise, one more. We have to mug up prime number till 100. I'll give you the list. We'll do that in class when we study prime numbers. Not right now. Right now, focus on the tables. Tables, it is important. Fast ho jayega. Otherwise, you'll have to, even those multiplications, 17 into 13. Otherwise, you multiply by 3, then by 1 normal long multiplication that we perform. That we have to do. Instead, if you know the table, you can do it very quickly. Again, assumptions, most crucial message implied. We are just trying to look at types of questions. Most logical, rational, crucial message. Now, this is the question. What we are saying here is from interest, the compound interest, profit and loss question, profit and loss topic. We are having some sum, and we are having some principal amount, then some interest rate. Interest rates are different, R and S, when we compound annually and semi-annually. What does it mean? And compounding, you know compounding? Basically, if I have, let us say, 1,000 rupees, and I'm investing it in some bank at the rate of 10%. So next year, my money would be, I would get 100 rupees interest. On 1,000 rupees, 10% is 100 rupees. So I'll get 100 rupee interest. So what is my sum now with the bank? 1,100. My 1,000 rupees as my capital or principal and 100 rupees of interest. So the next year, like after 1 year, after 2 years, what is the interest I get? I get interest on that 1,100 rupees, not on the 1,000 rupees I invested. This is called compounding. So I get interest on interest. Whatever interest I earned in the first year, I get interest on that interest as well in the second year. This is what compounding means. We get interest on interest, interest on interest, and so on. In simple interest, we don't count that as interest. So in simple interest, I get 100 rupee interest every year. So after 1 year, I get 100 rupees at 10%, yes. But that 100 rupees is kept separate. And initial amount is only your principal. Your principal doesn't change. For next year's calculation, principal is again 1,000. Rate is again 10%. So you get 100 rupees interest again in the second year. Not 110 rupees, which you will get if I calculate interest on interest. If I give you interest on your first year's interest. This is the power of compounding. In compounding, everything gets compounded because you get interest on interest. And here this question is saying that there are two cases. In one case, there is compounding annually, and in another case, there is compounding semi-annually. What do we mean by compounding semi-annually? After 6 months, whatever your interest is accumulated till that time, I'll give you interest on that as well. Annual compounding is 1 साल तक कुछ नहीं मिलेगा. 1 साल तक normal interest जितना simple interest है उतना मिलेगा. Till 1 year, you'll get interest as per your simple interest. And after 1 year, I'll calculate your interest and I'll give you interest on that interest after 1 year. Here, in semi-annually, I'll give you interest on interest after 6 months only. So you'll get more interest because we are calculating 6 monthly. We are compounding more. More compounding is more money. That is what the question is all about. Only thing you have to know to solve this question is more compounding is more money. Other than formula. Of course, you can put everything in formulas and solve. Compound interest formula. If you know, you can just put values and solve. But even without touching pen to paper, you can solve this question. Here they are saying is principal is same. Here they are saying period is same. Everything else is same except interest rate. And they're also saying I'm getting same money at the end of 1 year or whatever number of years. 1 year compounding. Yes, 1 year. At the end of 1 year, same amount. So I have principal is same, end amount is same, period is same. Only changes when do we compound? Rate of interest. Logically, If I have to get some money, I have, let us say, 100 rupees, and I need to make it 200 rupees at the end. By simple interest, I need higher interest rate. By compound interest, I would need lower interest rate, because in compounding, I get interest on interest. In semi-annual compounding, even with less interest rate, I'll get more money. In simple interest or in annual compounding, I need more rate to get same money. So if I'm getting same money in both the concepts, both the uh, annual compounding and semi-annual compounding, annual wala compounding needs to have higher interest rate than semi-annual wala compounding. Because semi-annually, I'm getting interest on interest 6 monthly only. So my purpose would be solved even if I get less interest rate. That is the question. Which of them is higher, which of them is lower? So answer is this. Half yearly R is lower than yearly S. So answer is C. That was the only thing that was asked. This entire 5-6 line questions is there. But essentially question is this. Which interest should be more, which interest should be less? If you know that compounding से पैसा बढ़ता है, then you'll say that semi-annual में कम interest से भी काम चलेगा, annual में ज़्यादा की जरूरत होगी, ज़्यादा interest rate की जरूरत होगी. यही था. That was the only. थोड़ा complex हो गया क्या? I said interested many times ना. थोड़ा लग रहा होगा, कोई बात नहीं. We'll come to profit and loss. क्या profit and loss वाला chapter. Then we'll do it very very slowly. Right now we are just seeing कि कैसे किया जा सकता है. I'm telling you that you don't even need to put pen on paper for this kind of question. Again, look at this question. We have this number. We have number. We are dividing it by natural numbers. And question is, remainder should be 31. How many such natural numbers are there? Simple division algorithm equation, if you write, you can see the number of such factors. We'll do it in next class. Now, this question was something which was too lengthy. This was too lengthy to be solved in examination hall. I'll solve this in the next class, and you will feel that yeah, क्यों कर रहे हैं ये? This is very long. I mean, this is basic addition. कुछ special नहीं करेंगे. First addition करेंगे. Question is only of addition, but it requires a lot of possibilities. We have to check each time how many possibilities of P are there, how many of Q are there. Firstly, there are 2 sub questions in this one question. Plus, there are 2 possibilities. So it gets a lot of complicated in that term, in the terms of time, not in terms of concept. Conceptually, it is just addition. Now again, very easy question. What we want to do is we have to calculate sum of all the 4-digit numbers out of these digits without repetition. Without repetition meaning one number is to be used only once. एक बार use करना है. Plus condition is these numbers should be less than 2000. Now for number to be less than 2000, we want 4-digit number. For number to be less than 2000, what should come at the thousands place? Can 2, 3, 4 come here at thousands place? If I have 2 here and I have, let us say, 1, 3, 4 here, this number is more than 2000, right? I want number to be less than 2000. So what should come at the thousands place? Only 1. 2, 3, 4 cannot come here. Only 1 can come here because I want numbers less than 1000, 2000. So if 1 is here, 1 is fixed. I am just checking what are the rest of the possibilities. Now, what could be the possibilities? I can have 1 plus here 2, 3, 4. I can have 1, 2, 4, 3. Right? I can have 1, 3, 4, 2 or 1, 3, 2, 4. I can have 1, 4, 2, 3 or 1, 4, 3, 2. That is all. These are all the possibilities. I'm just writing all the possibilities. Firstly, I'm fixing 1 because number has to be less than 2000. Then to see all the possibilities, I'm fixing 2, 3, 4 and 4, 3. Then I'm fixing 3 here, 4, 2 and 2, 4. Then I'm fixing 4 here, 2, 3 and 3, 2. These are all the possibilities. Question is, what is the addition? Add them and you get the answer. Okay. Don't worry. Don't write down everything right now. We'll do it in the next class. See this question. We have this 10 consecutive things. No, 12 consecutive things around a circle. Like this is a circle. There are 12 things on this circumference. And we have to choose 10 of them consecutively. Question is how many ways are there to choose it. So there is this circle. We are having this 12 things here, right? Like 1, 2, 3, up till 12. We have to choose 10 consecutive things in clockwise direction. So for example, we choose 1 to 9, 1 to 10, or 2 to 11, or 3 to 1, or 4 to this, 5 to that, till 12 to 9. And then again, you come from 1 to 10, which we already counted. So how many are there? We start by 1, start by 2, start by 3, till start by 12. 12. यही करना था बस, कुछ नहीं था. This I already talked about. Which day is exactly on 10 raised to 10th day? Just divide this number by 7. Whatever is the remainder, that those many days, go ahead. That was the question. This is a little bit longer looking question, but again, a standard question from LCM chapter. We'll do it when we study LCM. Most rational message. कितने हो गए? कितने बचे अभी क्वेश्चन? 30 बचे हैं. कोई बात नहीं. I think purpose was to tell you that this is not impossible thing to do. Don't be afraid. Don't go by what everyone in the market is saying, that it is impossible to do. Only engineers are doing it. Only maths background students are doing it. And something like that. Don't go by all the misconception. In my last batch, I had a student from mathematics option. And she actually qualified. She's SDM right now in UP. She had mathematics optional there as well. She wrote this year's main, and she will qualify easily. She will feature in the final rank list. But still, she came and attended my CSAT lecture. So don't assume that somebody from mathematics background will do it very easily. If you are sincere, you will do it. You can do it, because this is at the end 10th class level. We don't require many fancy concepts. We don't require many formulas or complicated equations. We don't need all that. All we need is basic application of basic concepts. And that is what we'll limit ourselves to. And you'll see UPSC also expects the same thing. They don't want you to mug up many formulas or try to learn algorithm to solve certain types of questions. That is not at all required. I think that much was clear from today's paper. Of course, this is just to show you that purpose was not to complete this year's paper or anything. We will solve each of these MCQs when we come to those particular chapters. And what else? Do you have any doubts in mind? Do you want to ask anything? Do you want to give any feedback that how should we go about it? Anything like that? You are free to convey your messages. If you have any doubt in other aspects of your preparation, we can talk about that, because I have given multiple attempts and multiple interviews. So I think I can help you with that as well. If you want to, if you want any help in regard to any GS or your essay preparation, because essay is one particular aspect which all of you tend to neglect. You assume that you will write well, but you cannot write well because it requires specific preparation. And imagine how much you study for your GS 2 and 3 paper. Do you give that much time to your essay preparation? Even 1/10 of that time. वो भी तो 250 number का paper है. That paper is also worth 250 marks. In GS 2, can you assure me that you will get 140 marks? In no way you are getting 140, 150 marks in GS 1, 2, 3. It's just not possible. But in essay, every year we are having students with 140, 150 marks. I myself have scored consecutively 3 times 140 marks. If students are consecutively getting 140 marks, it means it is possible to do it. UP is also awarding essays. They are not ready to award GS papers in that ratio. In GS, nobody will get 110, more than 110 marks. In exceptional year, one paper might be just amped up. I mean, in 2019, in ethics, everybody got 140, 150 marks. But that was the exception. In some years, ethics might get 70, 80 marks. In some year, GS3 might get 70, 80, 90 marks. But there will be no year where essay will get 70, 80 marks for all of them. Huh? Some of you might get because you have written bad essays. And if you don't practice, you will be that some person. And if you lose 40, 50 marks in essays, you cannot feature in the final list. It is just not possible. How can you compensate for those lost 40, 50 marks? So it is important to write essays. And whenever you write your first essay, it will be terrible. It will be bad. Because you have not written anything before that. So start writing that right now. Even if you don't know anything, just choose a topic, Google everything about that topic, whatever you want. Arguments, information, examples, whatever you want, Google it for a half an hour, 1 hour, and then write. If you don't have content, if your claim is that I don't have content, gather the content, then write. Writing is a skill that needs to be cultivated, and it is a 250 mark worth of paper. And you cannot possibly tell me that you don't have 2 hours per week for your essay preparation. Just write one essay per week. You have to. Understand? Please be serious about it, because this is very cutthroat competition we are having here. Every mark is important. Don't neglect your essay preparation. CSAT is important, yes, but it is a qualifying paper. You have to give it due weightage, due respect, no doubt. But your main examination is mains in 2024 September. Everything you do should be in keeping in mind that particular examination. You have to qualify in prelim, yes. You cannot neglect it, yes, but you have to be mains ready. So till Jan Feb, I would recommend that you continue your mains preparation. Particularly optional, you should be thorough with as much as GS as you can cover, especially ethics, and ethics which you will not touch when you are starting, when you study for prelims exclusively. So those aspects should be covered, optional and ethics especially. And essay should be a continuing feature. हर एक वीक में, हर 15 दिन में, 10 दिन में एक ऐसे लिखना ही है. Get it evaluated from your friends, from your parents. They will give you layman's perspective. They don't know anything about UPSC. If they tell you that I don't understand this, perhaps you're writing in way too complicated language. They will give you feedback that no one else can give you. ये अच्छा लग रहा है, ये बुरा लग रहा है. This language is good, this language is bad. This figure, this pie chart, this table was good, this was bad. Something like that. This quote was good. This coming out was very nice. This poem, I love this poem. Those laypersons feedback also have a whole lot of value. Then you can give to one of your teachers. Essay teachers, whenever you are studying, you can find one teacher who is willing to check for you. Your friend, you yourself check, because your initial essays will be terrible. You may not want to show it to others. Just check yourself. See what more I could have done. What better language. Read toppers' essays. After some time, 2-3 months, I'll send you my essays. You can read those. Because I have gotten consistently good marks, I'll send you my essays as well. Right? Don't ignore essays. That was my point. Fine. What else? I think we are over time. We'll meet tomorrow. Okay, we'll start with arithmetic tomorrow. Basic addition, subtraction. Okay. Any doubt? Chale? Have a good day.